Hi, hello everyone. Um, so this should be working. We'll see if how we're doing. How are we doing? Hey, there we are. Hi. All right, let me see if I can grab. I'm gonna grab a link. Where do you think a link would be? I haven't streamed in a long time. If you haven't noticed, let's see. Where is a link? All right. I just got an email that I personally just went live, and maybe I'll just steal that link. Let's see. Thank you for holding it in with me, holding up with me. All right. Okay. There we go. Very good. Very good. Okay. Thank you for sticking with me. Let's see. Okay. All right. Gonna just do a tweet. Let everyone know that I'm live. There we go. Brilliant. Wonderful. Great. Awesome. Okay. Now I have 1,000 links open. Let's start closing those. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see you all. I'm not seeing you at all. I just have a habit of saying that. But it's nice to, I haven't talked to you on YouTube for a while. Look at the fish. There she is. Hi, everyone. It's been a while. Um, I'm going to do some drawing and maybe chat. So what I'm going to be drawing is I really want to draw an illustration from, I keep wanting to say The Witcher, but it's actually going to be, I might draw The Witcher someday. I do like Geralt. But what I want to do is I really want to do a drawing. I wanted to do sort of like an elaborate illustration for The Wicker Man, the 1973 version of The Wicker Man, not the Nicolas Cage version. Don't even start with me. But I've been wanting to, I love it. I've done another print before of The Wicker Man. I have it up here because I make my own art because I want to see it. So let me grab it. So this print it's actually the header of my Twitter account, but this is actually from the Wicker Man. It's Wicker Man fan art. So this is called The Grave of Rowan Morrison, which is, if you haven't watched the movie, spoilers, but it is 50 years old. So they exhume a grave of a girl that they believe has been murdered, and inside of her grave is a hare. So that is what this print is from. It's sort of purposely not, like, obviously a fan art paint work, but it is recognized, which is sort of fun. Other sort of nerds, it's like a nerd. If you recognize it, you know, you know. You know if you know. But what I've really wanted to do is, so there was a fanzine that I saw people calling for, for entries, a call for entries. I'm like a little nervous, so I'm not, my sentences aren't making tons of sense. But so there was a call for entries for this fanzine that was going to be Ladies of Horror. So I was like, oh, I really want to do the teacher from The Wicker Man. So the teacher from The Wicker Man she's great. I was gonna say she's great. She's blonde, just like me. But she is just like such a wonderful character. Obviously, the Christopher Lee's Lord Summerisle has a lot of focus in the fan works, which is like fair because he's fantastic. But I think the teacher is really cool, so I've wanted to do a teacher illustration, and then I did hear back from the fanzine, but I did notice that they are going ahead with it, so I did not get into the fanzine. They didn't tell me that. That's okay, no hard feelings at all. But I still really wanted to do this illustration. It's October, so let me just do the illustration. So I'm going to pull up some, and by the way, if you are watching, hello, welcome. It's so nice to have you. I am going to be sitting on the chat, so feel free to chat into the chat, and I'll be here to look at it. So I got all these screen caps from The Wicker Man. So I'm going to start pulling them up for myself and not for you. So this is just my sketchbook. It's just got some random stuff on the side of it. Let me get this a little bit better for you all. There we are. I have so many lamps on in this room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is how light as I can get it. So I'm really sorry about that. So my idea for it is, so I'm just going to start out with some thumbnails in the sketchbook. This isn't a very fascinating sketchbook. It's mostly just notes and bad drawings of foxes. But what I really wanted to do is have an image of the teacher. So the teacher, sort of the famous part of the film is when she is in the classroom, and then the police officer, who is the main character, comes in. Don't worry, this is an ACAB YouTube channel. We are not police officer fans. If you've seen the movie, you'll see why anyone would love this movie that is not a police officer fan. You should really watch this movie. But let me see. It's teacher from The Wicker Man. Now, so here's the deal. I am teaching some Zoom stuff on Tuesdays, and so I was like, I'm gonna have this all set up because I do this GoPro setup with the live stream, with the live cam for my students, for my kids, so they can see what I'm drawing while I'm talking to them through Zoom. And so I was like, if I'm already gonna have the setup ready to go, then I might as well live stream. So I haven't live streamed in a while. It's nice to be back. So I'm gonna start out, but that being said, I haven't figured out how to share my screen. So you just have to trust me. So the teacher, so the famous scene is the policeman goes into the school and he's looking for a little girl. So he is investigating the disappearance of a little girl, and they believe it could be a death. And because it's a horror movie, so it's purposely kind of spooky. And so he's investigating this death, or this disappearance of a little girl, and he goes into the school where she was a student and asks about her, and a little girl opens up her desk and there's a beetle in it. And that's sort of the famous scene, that's one of the very famous scenes of The Wicker Man, is how this very creepy beetle is in this desk. But I think the the sort of an equal player to Lord Summerisle, who is Christopher Lee's character, is the teacher. And so the school teacher, there's this wonderful scene of her in Lord Summerisle's castle, which I did visit his castle last summer in Scotland, because I do quite like this movie. So there's this scene where she's in a nightgown and she's holding this goblet. So I really wanted to have her holding a goblet. I just love that goblet, by the way. If anyone has a goblet and they are getting rid of it, give it to me, because I would love a goblet. It could be any goblet. I did buy a goblet when I was in Scotland. It's more of a tankard. It's a silver tankard. It's the only one I could find. Just disappointing. But her 70s hair is so fantastic. So there's this scene where she's holding a goblet. So I've always wanted to have her holding a goblet. And then there's also the scene, the chop, chop, chop scene, where there's a pentagon of swords. So I wanted her head. So there's a pentagon of swords. There's 5 swordsmen, all holding swords. And they put it into a pentagon shape. They sort of cross the swords together to create a pentagon. And then all the villagers have to put their head into the sword pentagon. It's a horror movie. I'm just telling you horror movie stuff. So of course they had to put their heads in the sword pentagon. I mean, why wouldn't you put your head in the sword pentagon? So they have to do that, and then might get their head chopped off. No one gets their head chopped off. Spoilers. Spoiler alert. But I always really liked, who doesn't like a sword pentagon? If someone was like, I don't know about that sword pentagon, I'd be like, I don't know if we can be friends. So I really wanted her head to kind of be in the center, and then the sword sort of coming out. So right now I am just doing some casual thumbnailing to see what I want the, let me get you closer, to see what I want the final illustration to look like. So I want a goblet, I want the sword pentagon. Oh yeah, that's what you've come to this stream for. Adjusting my camera. So, I'm getting so many emails right now. I'm sorry, I'm so popular. Turn off the sound. So, goblet, pentagon. And I was thinking fire. Is fire too, I'm a witch and I'm on fire? There's this part of, it's just the funniest thing. This is my favorite movie. Hi, Sunmi! There's this part where, oh, it's so nice to have you. Hello. Hello, Sunmi! I'm even gonna type it. Alright. There's this part where, there's a bunch of young ladies and they're leaping over a fire naked, and the policeman is like, they're not wearing any clothes, and the Lord Summerisle is like, but of course, it's far too dangerous to leap over fire wearing clothes, with your clothes on. That's what he says, with your clothes on. It's far too dangerous to leap over fire with your clothes on. It's just very funny because the cop is so shocked that they're naked, and it's just so funny. But I don't want to do her naked because that's just like naked lady with the pentagon holding a goblet. It's like I can't do that. It's not who we are. I kind of want her in the movie. She like is like holding the goblet so casually. It's like this. She's like, she's like singing. She's like, so. So I don't know if I want it in the middle. It's like a little too much like a sacrament. I mean, another thing about the movie is that it's so much about the sort of the paganism and like getting rid of Christianity and sort of like finding folklore in Christianity. And so like I don't know if I can like do like a reference to Catholicism. I don't know if that's what I want to be doing. So maybe a more casual goblet holding would be better. And let's look at some good imagery. What's some good Wicker Man imagery? Oh my gosh. So I have this this folder filled with my own screenshots of the movie, and it's probably got about 1,000 screenshots. So look, I know what I like, and that is the Wicker Man. I like it quite a bit. So let me find. There's the part where the egg. I could put an egg in her hand. That's also very good. So there's this part where the thing is it's not the teacher doing it, but there's this part where there's a baby, a woman nursing a baby, and in one hand she's holding an egg, and it rules. Greg the Frog. This is the best movie in the world. So when it comes to horror movies, I have to admit, I like this one. I mean, do you count The Lost Boys as a horror movie? Isn't action, does genre really matter to us as viewers, or is it just a marketing scheme? Oh, a mask would be good. Oh, how about this guy? The sun? I'm gonna do the sun. So there's like this awesome sun. For a while during quarantine, I was like, I'm going to make my own gigantic sun to put on my wall, like a giant sun, and maybe that is silly. I ended up not doing it, but I do have the materials to make a giant sun, so if you think I should make a giant sun, let me know. Put it in the comments. Giant sun. Yes, no. Gosh, this is a good movie. I'm just looking at my screenshots. You should watch this movie right now. You shouldn't be watching the stream. You should go watch this movie. This movie rules. This is a great movie. Oh. It's telling me my bit rate is too low. That means nothing to me. So, who knows anything about bit rate? I'm just gonna start sketching. I admit, so, you know, being a teacher right now is hard. It's hard. I haven't done any art for all of September. All of September, I haven't done anything. Haven't drawn at all. So I'm teaching in person during a pandemic. I'm shaking this camera so much. There you go. But you know, so I haven't done any art, even personal, drawing, let alone shared, all September. I took September off. I didn't take it actually off because I was teaching. And teaching right now is the most stressed I have ever been in my entire life. I can say that pretty easily. It's nice. I'm glad that I've had, you know, such a nice life, but also it sort of says that it's a fairly difficult time. And you know, every time I have a feeling as a teacher, I'm reminded of that the students, the kids, are having that feeling only tenfold because they are adolescents. So while I am perhaps having a hard time, I think a lot about the trauma that adolescents must be going through right now. Not only the trauma of a pandemic, of course, but the trauma of police brutality, right? Protests in the street during a pandemic, you know? They're necessary, like deeply important protests. Not just necessary, extremely, extremely important. But there's also this terrifying fear of the pandemic. And so there's just a lot happening for our young people. There's a lot happening for us. And so it's very difficult. It's a very difficult time. And so thinking about doing art was hard. It's funny because it's like, I'm sure every artist has talked about this. I'm sure everyone knows what this feeling is, but art is your escape when you're a young person, and sometimes it's still your escape when you're older. But it also, if you choose to make it your path, it becomes your job. And art's supposed to be fun and relaxing and expressive and say things that you can't say with words. And which is why it's really important to teach in school, especially now at a time when there's a lot of trauma happening. but that meant I wasn't going home and trying. It sort of meant I was going home and uh, relaxing as much as possible. Um, I That's what I did in September. I was very stressed and I relaxed. So I would come home from work teaching, and you know, teaching is so good. I love, who doesn't love being with people? But I especially um, am an extrovert. I'm an extrovert who's also a cartoonist and an artist, right? And so there was sort of a conflict of what I wanted to do, considering that um, uh, when you're an artist, you're alone. You're alone a lot. When people joke, a lot of cartoonists right now joke uh, that that now everyone understands what it's like to be a cartoonist, because we're all alone. We're all um, work from home, or we are um, having to go to work, whether that be um, at a retail job, a restaurant, um, and then we have to. But even though we might be with people, as that could be, that our certain jobs depends on, we could be around people if we were, say I'm a teacher, if you're a healthcare worker, if you are a retail worker, if you are a worker at a restaurant, um, you might be around people, but you're still like isolating yourself, right? You are still saying, you're still keeping people far away from you. And if they're close to you, it makes you very anxious, right? Because you don't want them to be close to you. And if you're in customer service, you don't have control over whether they're close to you because you are stuck behind a counter. Um, so I have a little bit control over that because I can request that my students move away if they are too close to me or to each other. So it's good that I have that power that not everyone in their jobs have. But you're still sort of socially isolating yourself. And you are scared. You're scared the entire time that you're outside. You're scared the entire time you are away from your home. And it's sort of that cognitive dissonance that's exhausting, right? Because I'm so happy to be at work. I'm so happy to be with kids. I don't even know what I'm drawing right now. I'm just sort of drawing on autopilot. I'm so, so, so happy, and I'm so, so, so grateful to be where I am. But it's very tiring. That sort of cognitive dissonance of being so happy to be with people, and then also being so, so, so stressed about being with people. That feels similar to what protests feel like. You're happy to be there. It's important to be there. Speaking specifically of me as a white person, right? Because my experience of the world is not the same experience as everyone else's. But you're scared because the pandemic is real, right? But I don't experience police violence in the way that other people do. Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, it's been a very difficult month. I mean, it's been difficult this entire time. But I have been doing art. I launched my YouTube channel, hello, in April, right? So I have been working. I've been doing this. I've been enjoying my art career. But since the school year started, I've just been coming home, and I've been what I've been calling aggressively relaxing. I come home and I do nothing. Not a thing. I just sit and I watch YouTubes, and I've been reading a lot. I'm part of a book club. Love to read. But it is, so that's all I've been doing. I've been aggressively doing nothing, purposefully doing nothing. Because to be present with my students, let's be honest, teaching is always normally exhausting. Hi Mary. Thank you. It's normally exhausting. But normally I want to come home and I want to draw or do something or work on something. And that feeling hasn't been around all September. And so I've decided, it's October. It's starting to feel a little bit better. Teaching in person. So I've decided to try working on art again. And so I sat down. It must be fun. Sometimes I wonder what it's like to be a student of mine. This is probably what it's like. I just like trail off on 10 different stories all at once. Hi. I am drawing the teacher from the Wicker Man. That's what I'm drawing. Yeah, I start to set 10 different stories and then I don't finish anything. But basically what I was trying to say is I sat down to stream because I have this setup for my, I have some Zoom kids, which is very fun. I love to Zoom. I actually appreciate Zooming so much now that I've been teaching in person in the pandemic. I think Zooming is actually easier. Controversial statement. But teaching in person right now is really stressful. So I have this setup, the camera setup, to work with my kids. I do love to Zoom, thank you, Mary. So they can see what I'm working on, so I have the live cam set up. And then I was like, I'll just live stream. I haven't drawn in a month. Probably a month, probably more. And so I'm just going to start live streaming, and I'll figure out what I'm going to draw. I was thinking of drawing Gaston and LeFou, because they make me happy. But you know what also makes me happy? The Wicker Man. So I'm sure I'm going to draw Gaston and LeFou someday, so don't worry about it. I'm sure they're coming. Let me know if that is what you want. So I explained it before, but I'll explain it again. Thank you for joining me. So I wanted to, there was a call for a fanzine for Ladies in Horror. I submitted an idea. I did not get into the zine, but I still wanted to draw. So yeah, I'm still drawing. She is just so 70s. It's so fantastic. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not looking at this at the right angle. to be able to tell if I like what's going on. And part of why she's also great is that she's an older lady. Ladies of horror, you kind of think of scream queens. But I like that she's older. And plays like a really important role in the town, right? She's a school teacher. She like hangs out with Lord Summerisle. You know, she's important. I like connect with these eyes even, and like the camera is in my face, so I can't look closely. What do you guys think? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Drawing board time. So, okay. So here's the thing with the swords. It currently looks like she's holding the swords. She's not holding the swords. The swords are being... I think I'm just going to have the swords floating, which is not what happens in the movie. But it's too complicated otherwise. So anyway, I was thinking if I'm going to be all fall, I'm going to be working with my summer kids. These are kids normally I see in the summer, but I'm seeing them in the fall too, which is great. I love that. But I'm going to be working with my Zoom kids every Tuesday and Wednesday. But Wednesday's a little bit trickier. But what if I streamed every Tuesday, right? Because I have to set up this camera. And also it kind of forces me to sit down and draw, and it's been a little while since I've drawn. And by that, I mean just a month, but that's a really long time. It's a long time for me. I keep getting focused on her face. So she has this, like, scene where she's, like, on a rug in a nightgown. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing every Tuesday. I mean, the idea of this, Mary said, they'd sign in whenever I'm zooming. Or I'm not zooming. I'm not even, I don't know. It's hard for me to pay attention to 100 things. But it's time for a ruler. I forgot what I was saying. I'm gonna let it go. I'm wearing these headphones just for fun. Zaman. I'm not actually listening to anything. It's deeply unnecessary for me to be wearing these headphones. Does it make me look professional, like I'm a real streamer? I'm like definitely not a real streamer. If you were like Cathy, would you identify as a streamer? I'd say no. Oh, who's texting me? Oh, that's fun. But anyway, if I do regular streams on Tuesdays, maybe I'd sit down. But I thought it would be fun to sort of update you guys on not what has been going on in September, because you know what has been going on. I've been teaching, and I've been tired. Thank you. I don't need a gaming chair because this is actually maybe this isn't the fanciest chair in the world, but it's a Office Max chair, and can you see it? Look at it. I love it. No gaming chairs for me, unless you want to give me one. I'll accept that. I'll accept free gifts. I know, I'm benevolent. So, this is a funny drawing. It's funny to draw while talking because it's like impossible, and I don't know what's happening in this drawing at all whatsoever. So I was thinking all the swords should be 8 inches, and maybe that would help me out. But maybe that's too much math. Counting to 8 is too much math. Cathy G. Johnson, quote me on that. The thing is that in the actual movie, it's not actually a pentagram. It's actually a 6-pointed star. But pentagram's got a good vibe to me. You know, the pentagram vibe. Thank you for liking my chair. Thank you, Tina. So I decided I wanted to do a pentagram. I mean, in the movie, it's like having it be inspired by Christian imagery, aka can't be a Satanist unless you believe in Satan type of deal. Makes sense in a certain amount. But the problem is, I'm pretty sure there isn't, oh thank you. There isn't gonna be enough 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 handles and 5 points. I don't know if I can evenly distribute the handles. So if this happens to be a point, this is a point, this is a handle, this is a point, this is a handle, this is a point, this is a handle, this is a point. I don't know if the math works out. I'm not explaining myself well, then that's just what's happening. That's just what's going on. Okay, so she's going to be holding... What I'm saying is that these swords aren't going to make sense because I don't think the math works out. To have each point, I don't think it's going to work out. I'm not explaining why particularly well, but I don't think it's going to work. But how much does logic really need to be present in a drawing about a horror movie? And the answer is no logic necessary. This is a funny goblet. So the goblet, if you could look at this picture of this goblet, the stem, they look like this when the prop department made this goblet. It looks like they made the stem out of just like a pipe, a PVC pipe, because it is just straight up and down. So when I'm drawing this goblet, I kind of want to zhuzh it a little bit because it just leaves something to be desired in the real one. And also the bottom is like perfectly flat. It's like a very industrial goblet. It's comforting in the sense that someday when I make one, because I am going to make one for myself because I am obsessed with this movie, it'll be easy to make one because it looks particularly simple. we just got new glasses. Look how cute. I'm afraid I'm going to break it now because I keep pushing this giant thing around while paying attention to 3 different things. Up here I have my desktop, and my desktop background is this woman holding a goblet. So, when I say this is my favorite movie, I do not lie. It's called The Wicker Man. I'm just going to rate The Wicker Man right here. So if you are just tuning in, you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to zhuzh it. I'm already zhuzhing. Tapered bottom, I know. Decadence. Again, is it going to look like the Holy Grail? We're going too holy here. Christians, call in. That just made me laugh. Call in, Christians. Are you a Reformed Catholic? Did you have to go to Catholic school? Call in. Let me know if this goblet is saying the blood of Christ too much. You know? I want to say blood, but not that kind of blood. Ooh, Muslim Sunday school. Very cool. I've never heard of that. I love that. I rewatched it recently. Wicker Man. Brilliant movie. What we are currently drawing fan art of. And I forgot how spooky this movie is. It feels like a cosmic horror kind of situation. Plus, the music is super fun. I know! It is a musical. Period. This film has multiple songs, in-world songs, by musicians who are people who are characters, sing songs that are effective to the scenes in which they are singing. It is a musical. Yes. Yes. Now that scene that Mary is talking about, Johnny, the Johnny song, was actually cut from the DVD. So you need to get a special long version of the DVD that comes in a wooden box. You can get them on eBay. They're like $35. Or you can just watch it on the internet. But yeah, Johnny is not in the DVD version and not also in the Netflix version. So you have to seek it out, my friends. It's a good song. I can't believe they would cut it out. It's a very, very good song. Muslim Sunday school, dragged on for 2. Yeah, I grew up Presbyterian. I still feel like I am culturally Presbyterian. I would call myself that. But I would not call myself actually a practicing Presbyterian. Much love to everyone in the church. No problem with them. Some problem with some people, but just some people don't represent the entire religion. But yeah, I went every day of my youth until I was 16, and I said, I'm done. I'm done. Which was probably a much more emotional coming out than coming out as queer. Was me telling my parents, I am atheist, I'm not going to do this anymore. That was very hard. And I cried. Did not cry when I came out as queer. If anything, it was much easier because of how difficult coming out as atheist was. Yeah, culturally Muslim sums it up. Yeah, that's what I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is like totally, I think religion has a lot of different ways of playing in our lives. And I think culture is a huge one. both my grandfathers were Presbyterian ministers, so I feel like I feel like me being an artist is like them practicing theology, and also being a teacher, of course. I feel like social worker kind of situation, culture, being someone who is a part of the community, is part of who I am. I don't mean to sound arrogant right now, though. I'm going to be honest. I've been drawing, barely paying attention to what I'm drawing. I have no idea where this is going. I gotta plug the computer in and know if it died. So here we have, I don't even know, this goblet is gigantic. It's because a huge goblet. Oh boy, that's a big boy. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I don't know if the composition is going to work so hot. I do everything by hand. I'm sure if I was a digital artist, all I would do is shrink this goblet and move on with my life. But I do everything by hand. I don't want anyone to get mad at me. Digital artists work by hand too, with physical media. How about that? Do it well physically. Oh, thank you. Mary says, just noodling. I love drawing and not really paying attention when I'm keeping it low-key. That's what I think too. It's very low-key. Oh my gosh, if this was high-key, I would not do it because I need to relax. That's who I am right now. I'm relaxing Cathy. So it's sort of fun how this sword is like right next to her. You know, it's sort of fun how the sword is right next to her neck, is what I was saying. I do think it's fun. And she's got like this sick, nice nightgown here. Analog media. Yeah. I'm very lo-fi. How about that? Lo-fi, not hip-hop. Lo-fi, but for sure, though. I'm very, very lo-fi. Analog. I just love the... Can you hear that? I love that sound too much. And if your iPad, when you're drawing, was making this sound, you would be so annoying. Maybe they do that. I don't know. I've drawn a little bit on my friends and partner iPad. I was afraid of saying partners as if I had multiple partners. I don't have multiple partners. I got one. And I love them very much. But where should her hair go? Yeah, Mary was just asking, should this be across her neck or behind? She was going to be, these were going to be behind her head, and this one was going to be in front of her head. Because her head is inside of the pentagram. That's the intention. Oh, thank you. But what I was wondering is where would her hair go? Because if her hair, I wanted to give her like this flippy 70s chill look, but if this, does her hair go in front of it? Yeah, okay. I have to decide which ends of these swords are points and which ends are not points. You know, the opposite of not points. I actually don't know what that would be. Perhaps the strands of hair could fall on the blades. Oh, I love the way you phrase that. It's very romantic. Falling upon the blades, excuse me. It's got to have this flip, though. That's the 70s flip. We need that with the strands. Oh. Good call. Ooh, good call. Good call, everyone. This is fun. I'm like having a good time with you guys. Hi, thanks for hanging out. I accidentally erased her wrinkles, which we cannot have. She's an older lady. That is important. I feel like I need to make mini swords. Yay! I'm glad you guys are drawing too. I actually kind of wish this was a Zoom so I could see what you guys are doing. This is like my main thing. When I'm working with kids, I'm always like, show me what you got! But can't do that when it's just me. Alright, I'm gonna grab some stuff to create a small pentagram with. You know, as you do. One sec. Alright, I'm back. From outer space. Ooh, yay! Mary's gonna post what they're drawing later. Thank you, Mary. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the points are gonna be the points, and the other end's gonna be the other end. Okay. See, I don't know if this is gonna work, you guys. These are like the exact size. Are these also 8 inches? No, they're 10. I was like, how are these? Hey, it's working! Oh, you guys. I'm so happy. I don't know why I thought the math wouldn't work out. It's like I don't know math. It's like when I tell my students, I'm a art teacher, not a math teacher. Okay. The points seem to be in front. Thanks, Mary. We're all amazed by math right now. Okay, I'm gonna have this go under here. So also what I'm trying to figure out is where the points are, where the handles are, and also how I want the points to overlay, how I want the swords to overlay each other. So clearly it doesn't want to hold it because it's awkward. But this is how I want to do it. Where the points are always the one overlaying, and the handles are the ones that are being laid over. I do this for every art project I ever do. I create a little pentagram and complain about math. Every art project. Math is for engineers. It's not for Cathy's. I do refer to myself in the third person a lot. I'm really sorry. I don't know, how am I going to hold this together? I'm very excited by this, though. I feel like I've figured something out. I'm going to take a photo of it so I remember. I can't see it because of my hands. Okay. Do I have hot glue? I do have hot glue. do have hot glue. I also have super glue, which is actually probably better for wood. You sit here and watch me glue this small pentagram together? This is the weirdest stream. Weird stream, 2020. I got tape. I was gonna do glue, but I realized it has to stick together. It doesn't have good surface area. I tell this to my kids all the time. Craft stream. I tell this to my kids all the time. Glue needs surface area. These are round sticks, so two round things trying to be glued together would not give you a lot of surface area. So I kept wanting to do wrapping. And so I'm thinking wrapping is the way to go. I am a sculpture teacher. Did you guys know that? I'm a sculpture teacher. I teach other stuff too, but sculpture is like my main thing. I know, weird, right? There isn't... You aren't going to be the only... I also teach comics, but I'm not going to be the comics teacher at a high school. Like the only... Like there's a math teacher, the comics teacher. I feel like I'm lucky that I get to be the sculpture teacher. This is falling apart, you guys. You're watching me struggle now. Oh, I don't know about this anymore. All I want... It still looks good, right? It's falling apart. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Okay. This is going to be my TikTok. It's me making this. I do have a TikTok account. I don't make TikTok videos, and it is because I can't figure out how to. And that's it. I've tried, but I can't figure out. I like have no idea how it works. Aw, Sunmi went to a Presbyterian church. Oh, thanks for letting me know. I like that. Sculpey is great. I love it. Because it doesn't dry, it doesn't air dry, so you can do all sorts of stuff. It's held together. It's not pretty. That's not the goal. The goal was figuring out where the points went over the handles. It doesn't dry until you bake it, which is great. I don't want you guys to not see it anymore because it's just so fun. So I highly recommend Sculpey. It's really fun. I used to do it as a kid all the time. I really loved Sculpey. I think a huge reason why I don't practice art as just like a professional art, practice sculpture as like a professional artist is because I don't know where to put it. I don't know where to put it. I find it very stressful to make physical objects, and then have to put it somewhere. I'm looking up at a sculpture that I have up at the top of that shelf. Maybe I'll show it to you guys someday. If I tried to reach it now, I would not reach it because I didn't know where to put it, so it's at the very top of a very tall shelf. But I just don't know where to put it, and I find it very stressful, and it makes me want to throw it away. and I'd like to keep my art. I would rather not throw it away. That is not my goal, so I don't make it. But I do make sculpture at school where I work, because I'm working with the kids, and then I do stuff to demonstrate sculpture with them. I threw stuff out. Mary's asking. I threw it out. I threw it all into a dumpster. It's what documentation is for. But yeah, it's like I loved working by hand. By hand, I love working with lo-fi materials, with analog materials, and I like it when it's really flat and I can put it into a drawer, and I can put hundreds of projects into a drawer. They all fit really neatly. That is just the dream. That is the bliss. That is my bliss. Is putting all my art into a drawer. Yeah, I have. Nora's asking about sketchbooks. I have boxes. I have waterproof boxes full of. I call them archives. I have waterproof boxes. I have a box labeled completed sketchbooks below my desk. I have completed projects in boxes. I buy boxes. I buy plastic waterproof boxes. And then I put giant shelves in my studio, and I put them on the shelf. What will happen when I die? Doesn't matter, I'll be dead. So, but I do like to hold on to them. Like if you watched my other video, my screen printing video, the latest video I have, it's a couple weeks old now. It's when I was screen printing in just 100-degree weather in August. It was these prints right here. This guy. Who am I showing? This Wolfie, and this blueprint right here. So this print was actually based off a sketch from a 2017 sketchbook. So I just really like to hold on to sketchbooks because I feel like you can plagiarize yourself as much as you want, because it's not actually plagiary if it's just yours. And so like if I need ideas, I just look through my old sketchbooks. It's like really important to me to hold on to them. That's like who I am. And I guess I don't identify with my sculptures, because those I'd like to just right in the trash. After I take nice quote photos then. Her chin is over the sword. That's fun. Oh, thank you, Mary. Thank you. Yeah, I thought this one came out really, really sick. I was really, really proud of this one. Yeah. The wolf is like fun. Sometimes you just gotta make a wolf on pink paper. But I thought the landscape one came out really well. It's from a drawing that I was actually doing with a friend. I was just chatting with him, and he was talking, and I was just doodling, and it sort of came out. And I just really liked what happened with that. Sometimes you just gotta make a wolf. Quote me. Sometimes you just gotta make a wolf. I think I need... So the idea of this is just office paper. I draw just on plain office paper all the time. I think I'm gonna trace this to be... How did this go? I think I'm gonna trace this onto a bigger paper. Because these sword handles are kind of coming out. That's sort of how I get away with not being a digital artist, is I just work on crappy paper, and then if it's not good enough, I just trace it onto bigger paper, onto bigger and better paper. So I think all these sword handles are going to go that way. Oh, Alejandro. Oh, thank you so much, Alejandro. Thanks. I think it's only 15 bucks. I try really hard, like, because, like, part of why I'm a screen printer, I realize not everyone has $15, don't get me wrong. But, part of why I'm a screen printer is it's original art that, like, I can charge pretty relaxed prices on. Like, my other original art, 100 bucks minimum, right? But a screen print, since I can make 70 of them, and I can just charge $15 a piece, and I'll get all my work back, right? Or 25 or something. But it's all handmade, so you get a handmade piece, but it's affordable, and I can sell it for cheaper. That's like so important to me. That, like, I feel like everyone deserves affordable art. That's why I'm a cartoonist, and that's probably also why I'm not a sculptor. It's because you spend a lot of time on a single piece, and then you have to sell it for gazillions in order to make your labor worth it, right? But if I'm screen printing, my labor goes into 70 different editions or 100, and I can charge much less for the individuals. I love that. It's important to me. So thank you so much, Alejandro. That's so awesome. All right, who was over? Okay, point over that one. Okay. This is coming together. Yeah, I know. We need gazillions for our labor, man. Gazillions. That's what I'm saying. Nah. No one needs to be a gazillionaire. Okay, so this point over that point. Okay. The math. This stream, playing fast and loose with what math is. I think I'm going to go for until 8:30, 15 more minutes. I'm going to do a little tweety tweet, 15 minutes. Thank you everyone for hanging out. I don't tweet a ton when I'm streaming, so you guys don't have to sit there and watch me tweet. Oh, people are talking to me. Oh, that's so nice. Everyone is very funny. Thank you, Nora. Thank you for quoting me. I appreciate it. Oh, you made me squeak. Yeah, we'll go to 8:30. I want to watch a movie with my partner tonight, too. And also, I don't want to demand you guys' time. It's been real chill. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's really nice. Spend time with other people. Thank you, Nora. It's cracking me up. Yeah, so I think we're going to do this every Tuesday, probably 7 to 8:30. Honestly, depending on when I need bathroom breaks. So, but maybe I'll look at a little schedule, and I think that's going to go until like mid-November. Maybe like 5 more times. I think that'll be fun. Keep working on this lady. Maybe do some Gaston on the food drawings, whom I love and adore. I haven't drawn in a couple years now. Well, yeah, a couple of years. Okay, let's These swords are like really just doing whatever they want. Oh, thank you, Mary. Just a little get on the food. Love them boys. So the sword handle is going to go that way. And then we'll have do this. Wow, that one's really going to go off. So I'm going to look up the sword. This hand is like atrocious. Oh, it's not what happens. Oh, it's actually nice that I have a, you know, something like that. More elegant way of holding a goblet rather than whatever that is. Something like that? Yeah. I'm just going to grab a photo of that real quick. Excuse me. You guys are now going to find out I take reference photos with my nose. Now you know. Trade secret. Trade secret. Trade secret. Grasping with determination, that's right. But she's got to grasp with chill. That's what I'm thinking. Also, where is this arm going? Oopsie daisy. Whose hand is this? It's not this arm's. I'm not looking at all. Don't know what's happening here. Alright, maybe she's gonna twist her body. I think that would be more interesting too. Alright, need quite the eraser at this moment. Alright. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. That's funny. Okay. Okay, jokely. Alright. So you see why I like to not draw directly onto the finished paper? It's because I am a maniac when it comes to sketching. Okay. This is actually going to be right there. So this one here. This is very funny. That's not, it's unsalvageable. I'm just embarrassed that you guys watched that. It's an unsalvageable hand. She can't turn like this because her shoulder is going to hit that sword, so that's not happening. Right. Promised 8 more minutes of this. Here we are. 8 minutes. Hey everyone. It's hard to talk and draw at the same time. This hand is cracking me up. Alright, here we are. Here we go. Here we go. I don't. I'm probably still going to go back to the hand. I just keep getting distracted by other things. Chalice on an open palm, like this? I just didn't have the right reference image. Because she's holding it. It just needs to be more like this. I was like talking to you guys. Cracking me up. That was crazy. Here's what I got now. Right here. Yeah. Oh, funny. You know, this hand is looking way better. This is how I'm going to end the stream. Just with like a giant scribble. So I'm thinking I'm going to put a pin in this drawing for myself, and I'll keep working on it next Tuesday at 7 p.m. I think that's what we're going to do together. I'll have to check my Twitter. I'll let you know how it's going. Because I think I might have some evening obligations occasionally. But I think for the most time, check tweeters, and I'll let you know when streaming is going to happen. Because this has been so much fun. I had no idea what I was going to be drawing tonight. That's so much fun. How fun. So I'll keep working on this next time. Thank you so much, Nora. Yeah. I'm gonna keep working on this. We'll keep doing it. Thanks, guys. I'm saying goodbye, but we have like 5 minutes left, so I promise. But I just like was just chatting with you guys and just sort of chilling. And you know what? I think that was really good for me. I hope this was. I'm glad. Thank you. I'm glad this was good for you guys too. It just was like nice to just relax and do sort of to go with the flow, I suppose. And in case you were wondering, yes, my hand looks like this. Watching me sketch has probably been I'm not shy about being just ruthless. I would define my sketching style as ruthless. And I hope that was fun and illuminating to see why I draw like this. Like, I cannot be contained. All right. So what I was trying to get at is like I love to draw, like I do this chalice and then I'm like just completely erasing it. I sort of like that, like I think about drawing as like sculpting, where like there's layers, you create the layers. You need to create layers in order to, man, I am dirty. You need to create layers in which to create discoveries. You need to build upon stuff. It's really hard. I find it difficult to just, like if I was just going to draw the face and then just draw the swords around her, even though some of the swords are behind her and some of the swords are in front of her, I would find that just only drawing two-dimensionally, even though technically this is two-dimensionally, I would find that so difficult. Because I just need to be able to know what's happening behind a form. You know, I don't know. All right, it is 8:29. Thank you so much for joining me. That's so cool. Thank you so much. This was so much fun. So I'll be streaming all fall, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. I'm just calling that. I'm just saying that for sure. And I'll see you next time. We're gonna keep working on. I'm gonna keep working on this piece, and I'll have it finished by October, by Halloween. Gotta get it finished. But so that's the goal. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'll see you. I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mary, Alejandro, Sunmi, and Noor. It's so cool that you all were just like chilling and watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.